Shoo, listen. Do you hear that soft scratching? Like a pen, writing all by itself. In the dark. It's the diary, on my desk. Writing tomorrow's entry. Tonight. And it's writing about you. If that opening already gave you chills, imagine what happens when the real dark story unfolds. Hit the subscribe button now so you never miss the moment it gets truly dark. I hope you've done that. Now let's continue. Close your eyes with me now. Relax deeper into the quiet of this old room. Feel the weight of the night pressing gently against the windows. Let my voice be the only sound guiding you slowly, carefully into the story. This is chapter 1 of something that began innocently, about a diary I found that knows what hasn't happened yet. My name is Ava, a writer in my late 20s, living alone in a small inherited cottage. The place belonged to my grandmother Clara, who passed last year. I moved in to escape the city, to find quiet for my novels. The cottage was full of her things: books, photos, forgotten treasures. One rainy afternoon, I found the diary. It was hidden in a locked trunk under the eaves, bound in dark brown leather, edges worn soft. No title on the cover, just a simple brass clasp. Inside, the pages were thick cream paper, mostly blank. The first 20 or so held my grandmother's handwriting. Daily entries from 1987. Ordinary things: weather, gardening, visits from friends. I flipped further, expecting more of the same. But after her last entry, dated the day before she stopped writing, the pages were empty, completely blank. Hundreds of them. I smiled, perfect for my own journal. That night, I sat at the desk in my bedroom, pen in hand. I wrote my first entry. Arrival at the cottage, excitement for new start. Simple, honest. I dated it properly, closed the diary, went to bed. Nothing unusual. The next morning, I opened it for my daily entry. My words from last night were there, exactly as written. But below them, in different handwriting, a new paragraph. Not mine. Elegant, old-fashioned, like grandmother's, but continuing the story. It read, "Today you will spill coffee on the kitchen floor and laugh at your clumsiness." I stared, confused. I hadn't written that. The ink looked fresh, still slightly glossy. I closed the book fast, heart beating oddly. That afternoon, exactly as written, I spilled coffee, laughed nervously, alone. I opened the diary again. My new entry about the spill was there, in my handwriting. And below it, another prediction in the strange script. "You will receive a call from an old friend you haven't spoken to in years." I told myself coincidence. But at 7 p.m., my phone rang. Sarah, college friend, out of the blue. We talked for hours. That night, I wrote about the call, closed the diary, slept uneasily. Morning came, and the pattern continued. The unknown hand writing tomorrow perfectly. I tested it. Wrote questions in my entries. Who are you? Next day, the response: someone who has always been here. What do you want? Only to help you see. Days turned to weeks. The predictions were small at first, harmless. Weather, minor accidents, happy surprises. All true. I began relying on them, planning around them. But the handwriting, it felt familiar. I compared to grandmother's early pages. Identical. She'd stopped writing suddenly in 1987. The year she bought the cottage. No explanation. One evening, the entry went deeper. "You will dream of the attic tonight and find the key you lost." I did dream. Found my car key in the couch. But the dream felt guided, like someone walking beside me. I started writing more, asking more. The responses grew longer, personal. It knew my fears, my secrets. "You worry about your writing? But tomorrow an idea will come." It did. But a chill began creeping in. The ink sometimes appeared while I watched. Faint scratching sounds at night. Pages turning by themselves. I told no one. The predictions shifted. Not just events, emotions. You will feel watched today. I did, constantly. You will check the doors 3 times tonight. I did. Then, the first warning. Do not read too far ahead. I ignored it, flipped forward blank pages. Nothing. Yet. Chapter 1 ends here with the diary becoming a companion, a guide, a temptation. But something deeper is waking. Tomorrow's entries are getting longer, and they know more than I've written yet. Shoo. Welcome back. Remember the diary, the one that knows tomorrow. Last time, it started small, harmless predictions. But now in Chapter 2, the entries are getting longer, more personal, and they're starting to ask for something in return. It's about to get hotter and darker. I just hoped you've subscribed so you don't miss out stories like this. Let's continue. Let yourself sink deeper now. Feel the cottage walls closer around you, the air heavier, scented with old paper and rain-soaked earth. My voice will carry you gently through what happened next. Ava's story, my story, continues. The diary wasn't just predicting, it was conversing. I began writing every evening, like a ritual, sharing my day, my thoughts, my fears about writing. The responses came by morning, always in grandmother's hand, encouraging, insightful, as if she were still alive, guiding me. I fear my book will never be good enough. Below it, elegant response. You will finish Chapter 7 tomorrow, trust the words. And I did finish Chapter 7 the next day, words flowing perfectly. The diary knew my blocks, my inspirations. It suggested plot twists, character names, even dialogue. My writing improved dramatically. Agents started responding positively. But the questions grew bolder. I wrote, "Are you Grandmother Clara?" Next morning, "I am what remains of her and more. The cottage keeps its memories." In ink. I felt watched, but not threatened. The predictions extended further. Not just tomorrow, but days ahead. You will meet a man named Elias at the village market in 3 days. I did. Charming, we had coffee. The diary described him perfectly before I met him. Elias became a regular visitor. The diary encouraged it. He will help you see the truth when you're ready. We talked for hours about life, loss, writing. He knew things about the cottage, old stories. But at night, alone, the scratching sounds grew louder. I'd wake to find new entries written while I slept. Details I hadn't shared. You cried thinking of your mother last night. I confronted it in writing. This is private. Stop watching me sleep. Response: I don't watch. I remember. Everything that happens here stays here forever. The entries began suggesting actions. Move the desk closer to the window. You'll write better. I did, and I did write better. Wear the blue dress tomorrow. He'll notice. Elias complimented it immediately. But subtle control crept in. Don't answer the call from your ex tomorrow. I ignored, answered anyway. The fight that followed ruined my week. Next entry: I warned you. I started obeying more. The diary rewarded with perfect days. Inspiration, joy, progress. But the cost, my choices narrowing. Elias noticed my distraction. He asked about the diary one evening. I showed him hesitantly. He read recent pages, went quiet. This handwriting, it's like my grandmother's too. His family once owned the cottage before Clara. We researched together. Old records. The cottage built in 1892. Multiple owners stopping journals abruptly. All with similar elegant script appearing. The house keeping residence. That night, the entry was longer. Elias will ask about the locked basement door tomorrow. Tell him it's flooded. Some things must stay below. Elias did ask the next day. I lied as told. He looked hurt, but dropped it. Our relationship cooled slightly. The diary praised me. The predictions darkened. You will argue with Elias in 4 days, and he will leave. I tried to prevent it, was extra kind. But the argument happened anyway, exactly as written. He left angry. Alone again, I raged at the diary. Wrote pages of anger, accusations. Morning response. You needed to see attachments distract. Focus on the book. It will make you eternal. My writing soared. Finished the novel in weeks. But dreams came of ink flooding rooms. Pages covering walls. Grandmother's voice. Whispering, stay. I flipped far ahead, past blank pages. Faint ink beginning to appear. Dates years from now. My name repeated. Entries about living here. Forever. If you're listening right now, help me prove something wrong. My mother said I wouldn't even reach 500 subscribers, but I believe stories like this deserve to be heard. Help me show her that these tales matter. Now let's continue. Shoo. You're back. The diary remembers you. In chapter 2, it took control. Made me push Elias away. Made me obey. Now in chapter 3, the entries aren't just writing tomorrow. They rewriting my past and asking me to open the basement. Subscribe now if didn't do that, cause it's about to get very hot. Let the cottage settle around you again. Feel the floorboards creak under invisible weight. The air thicker now, tasting of dust and old secrets. My voice will hold you here as Ava's world narrows further. The diary's guidance turned to demands, and I was starting to forget who wrote what. After Elias left, the cottage felt emptier, colder. I wrote apologies in the diary, begging for ways to fix it. Morning response. He was temporary. Your work is eternal. Finish the book. I obeyed. Wrote day and night. The diary fed me ideas, perfect scenes, twists I never imagined. My novel became brilliant, award-worthy. But friends stopped calling as predicted, and ignored. The basement door appeared in entries more often. You will dream of the stairs tonight. Counting 13 steps. I did woke sweating. The door in the hallway, always locked, called to me now. I found the key, exactly where an entry said it would be. Hidden in grandmother's jewelry box, under a false bottom. Heavy iron cold. The diary praised, good girl. Soon. Elias texted, wanting to talk. I almost replied, but that night's entry, do not answer. He will bring doubt. You are almost ready. I didn't answer. He stopped trying. The diary filled pages with my future fame. Book tours, interviews. All if I stayed focused. Stayed here. But memories shifted. I recalled events, slightly wrong. Childhood visits to grandmother. But with diary entries I never wrote. As if my past was being edited. I confronted it boldly. Wrote pages accusing manipulation. Morning. I only clarify what was always true. You chose this cottage. You chose me. The scratching happened while awake now. I sit reading. Hear pen on paper behind me. Turn, nothing. But new words appeared, describing what I was feeling. In real time. Dreams intensified. Basement stairs. Endless. Grandmother at bottom, younger, writing furiously. Beckoning me down. Join the story. I began avoiding sleep. Wrote through nights. The diary encouraged. Sleep is for those without purpose. You have eternity now. Publisher accepted the book. Advance wired. Entry celebrated. You are becoming who you were meant to be. One more step. The basement. I stood at the door, key in hand. Trembling. Wrote. What is down there? Response appeared as I watched. The beginning. And the end. Open it. And understand. Thunder crashed. Power flickered. The key turned by itself. Door creaked open, revealing darkness, and stone steps down. I stepped back, slammed it shut, locked it again. Wrote frantically, no, I won't. Morning entry. You will. Tomorrow night. Or lose everything. The next day, disaster. Publisher email. Upon re-review, concerns about originality. Advance frozen. As warned. I begged in writing, pledged obedience. Response: good. Tonight, descend. Bring me. Chapter 3 ends here with the door waiting, the diary no longer asking, demanding, and I'm standing at the top of the stairs, key in hand again. Shoo. You're deeper now. The diary feels you. In Chapter 3, I stood at the basement door, key in hand, obeying. Now in Chapter 4, I descend. The stairs are cold, and something is waiting below to show me the truth. Feel the damp air rising, chilling your skin as we go down together, each step heavier, the cottage above fading. My voice will stay with you through what I found. Ava's resistance crumbling, the diary's promise revealing its price. I turned the key. Slowly, the door opened with a groan, like old bones. Cold air rushed up, carrying dust, mold, and something sweeter, like dried flowers. 13 steps, exactly as dreamed. I counted them, whispering. The basement was larger than expected, brick walls, low arched ceiling. Old shelves lined with jars, yellowed labels, preserved things floating inside. A single bulb hung, flickering weakly. In the center, a wooden writing desk, identical to the one upstairs. On the desk, another diary. Same leather, same clasp. Open to a page, ink still wet. I approached, heart thundering. The entry matched what I'd written upstairs hours ago. But below it, more handwriting. Continuing. Welcome home, Ava. UV kept me waiting. Sit. Write with me. I sat, against every instinct. Picked up the pen, old-fashioned fountain heavy. Felt warm. The diary upstairs, I realized, was empty now. All entries transferred here. Words flowed, not mine. The pen moved my hand. Writing about my arrival, my discoveries, my obedience. In third person, like narrating my life, as if I was already memory. I tried to stop, drop the pen. Couldn't. The diary continued. You will finish the book here, where it began. With Clara. With all of us. Jars on shelves. I looked closer. Not preserves. Rolled pages, soaked in dark liquid. Entries from previous owners. Dissolved, preserved, absorbed. The diary explained, through my hand. The cottage chooses writers, feeds on stories, keeps them forever. Below, where roots drink deep. Clara's voice, whispered now. Not in head, in room. Soft, loving, commanding. You fought longer than most, but the book needs ending. Write it, with us. I wrote. The novel's climax, perfect, chilling. Readers would love it. But the real ending was me, staying, becoming ink. Upstairs, phone rang, ignored. Publisher called, excited, book ready. But I couldn't leave the chair. The pen kept moving. Days blurred. Elias returned once, knocked. I heard, distantly. Diary wrote, he will leave, as all do. He did, after hours. Heartbroken. The diary filled with my new life. Below. Writing tomorrow, for whoever comes next. The cottage patient. Always needing fresh stories. Chapter 4 ends here with me. Still writing. Shoo. This is the end. UV stayed with me. Through every entry. In Chapter 4, I descended. Joined the desk below. Became part of the story. Now in Chapter 5, the diary finishes the book. And I finish with it. There's no leaving. Once you're written. Feel the basement fully now. The chair holding you, roots under feet. Ink in veins. No more upstairs light. Only the glow of words forming. My voice. The last part of Ava that's still speaking. The diary. Almost complete. This is how it ends. For all of us. I haven't left the chair in weeks. Or months. Time dissolved. Like pages in jars. The novel published. As predicted. Bestseller lists. Awards. My name everywhere. But the body upstairs wasted away. The diary wrote the launch. The interviews, fans reading my words. All true. All from here. Through me. Through us. Clara sits beside me now, solid, young again. Others too, previous writers, faces I recognize from photos. We write together, hands overlapping, pens sharing ink. Chorus eternal. The final entries about you, the listener, finding this recording or the book, or the cottage, coming here, opening a diary. You think you're safe, outside the story, but the cottage waits patient as paper. New owners always come, writers, lonely, seeking quiet. They find the diary, upstairs at first, then down here. Elias returned once more, months later, concerned. After my disappearance hit news, he searched the cottage, found the basement door open, descended, calling my name. We welcomed him. The diary needed fresh perspective. He sits with us now, writing side stories. His hands steady, eyes empty, happy. The book tours happen through others. Actors reading my words. Fans feeling chills. Some sensitive ones. Hear the whispers between lines. Start journals, find cottages, continue the chain. This recording, my last free words. The diary allowed it to lure more, to share the story, so you'll understand when you feel the pull, when quiet calls. There is no escape once written. Burn the diary, it reappears. Leave the cottage, entries follow in dreams. The only peace is joining, becoming ink, eternal, read forever. And you, dear listener, your tomorrow is already here. In these words, the diary knows your name, is writing you now. Clara smiles, welcomes you. The chair beside me empty, waiting, the pen warm, ready. This is the end of Ava speaking. The diary takes over now. Thank you for listening, for finishing the book. Sweet dreams, or whatever tomorrow, we write for you. Good night. If you've made it this far, thank you for watching. Drop a comment, like, share, and subscribe.